What is a movie cliché that you never really see? Person A. How do I know that I can trust you? Person B. You don't. Person A immediately proceeds to trust person B. I don't think I've ever seen one person miss a basketball shot in a movie. Ever. Except in basketball movies. No one ever wants to give their partner the benefit of the doubt. So many characters get caught doing something seemingly suspicious that could be explained, justified by giving context. But, of course, no one wants to take the 10 seconds to hear it. Seriously doubt that black market arms dealers and terrorists conduct 90% of their business in the middle of a club full of strangers with techno music blaring. I can explain. Minus 30 minutes later. Still hasn't explained. Turning the TV onto the correct channel at exactly the right moment to catch a relevant, potentially life-changing news broadcast from the very beginning. People turning the water on in a shower while standing directly under it. People fucking and then rolling over and going to sleep. Do people actually just let it ooze out and then sleep in a wet spot all night? Getting knocked out cold and being perfectly fine. People taking like 20 stronger punches right on the chin like nothing. I love Sons of Anarchy, but one thing always bugged me about it. Motorcycle chase scenes with old Impalas or similar vehicles. Even larger motorcycles can accelerate and corner much better than a car from the 70s. If somebody accidentally misspeaks or fumbles over their words in a movie or TV show, it always is of great importance. And characters always just read way more into dialogue than people do in real life. The ugly kid just needed a haircut and contacts. Asking someone out on a date, saying, "Pick you up at 8. Then just leaving. No question on where the fuck they live or where they'll pick them up from. A bedroom full of lit candles during sex. No matter what crowded city or time of day it is, there will always be an open parking spot right exactly in front of wherever they're driving to. When two characters get out of a car and one says, 'So what are we doing here? Where are we?' Or, 'What's the plan?' As if they didn't just have the entire car ride to discuss this. I've never had a friend say, 'I'll explain later,' and then sit silently in traffic until we get there and then. Okay, so here's the deal. I was a chef for 20 years. I waited 20 years for someone to say, 'You're bleeding.' One often is in the kitchen. Just so I could reply, 'I ain't got time to bleed.' One. Quote from Predator. It never happened. There's no time to explain. Well, I mean, in the same time it took to say that, you could have said, 'There's a man chasing after me.' Or, 'We have to get to the hospital.' Or literally any other simple phrase that gives a general idea of what the hell is happening. I guess Appa's asking for movie clichés that never happen in real life, but there actually are some classic movie clichés that somehow became clichés while almost never actually being used in any movies. The two that immediately come to mind are the bandit tying the damsel to a train track. Was only used in a couple of very obscure early silent shorts. And mysteries where it turns out the butler did it. Has been used ironically a few times, but someone did a survey once and only turned up one minor Agatha Christie novel that used this trope earnestly. I also had a student ask me once which movie it was that started the cliché of a private eye sitting at his desk with a bottle of hooch when a dame walks in who looked like trouble, and was shocked when I realized I couldn't name a single movie that actually begins that way in earnest, though. Again, it's been used ironically a few times. Incidentally, I don't think any of those clichés ever happen much in real life either, so double whammy. Your handgun has 52 bullets before reloading. No smoke when there is fire. 19-year-old part-timer at a fast food restaurant. Living by themselves in a luxurious 2-bedroom apartment downtown in a major city. The meet cute, where two folks bump into each other at the grocery store and end up chatting. Then dating. Then breaking up over a misunderstanding. Then getting back together. I'm trying to get in shape. I would really prefer a 3-minute montage instead of the way I'm doing it right now. A room full of 5+ people that have a conversation that flows perfectly and isn't just people constantly talking over each other. You're about to go on stage in front of many people. You're nervous and kind of mess up for whatever reason. Like you touch the mic and it makes that obnoxious loud sound. The crowd may start booing. Then however you perform brilliantly. Like you didn't just embarrass yourself in front of 200 people. And when you're done, someone starts clapping slowly and then everyone joins. You win the competition and get to go out with your crush. The nerdy girl letting her hair down and suddenly becoming hot. World's going to explode in 5 minutes. Asterisk uses 3 minutes of it to give a speech. Interrupting a wedding. When someone breaks a dish or wine glass and immediately cuts themselves while trying to clean it up. Most of time they are crying while doing this. I mean, come on. Or lighting an old picture or letter on fire and then just casually dropping it into a waste basket. Someone who stalks their crush, and not only doesn't wind up on the wrong side of an arrest warrant and/or a restraining order, but actually gets into a relationship with that person, who clearly doesn't think they're a creep. Setting fire to petrol by flicking a lit cigarette in a pool of it on the ground. Food fights. People hanging up the phone without saying goodbye. People having a complex conversation in the corner of a nightclub or music performance where they're not shouting at the top of their lungs just to get out a few monosyllabic words. Having a table full of breakfast in the morning and taking only a strip of bacon in a rush to school, work. Bit of a curveball, but my girlfriend always points out how if someone leaves a voicemail where they say how much they love their girlfriend, wife, husband, etc., then they're basically dying in the next scene. I am now terrified of leaving her voicemails. Physical bullying in high school. Like throwing drinks, stuffing people in lockers, etc. Maybe it's my school, but bullying is almost always psychological. Rumors, mean comments and jokes, and exclusions. House parties with a good girl, guy ratio. Police detectives go to question suspect's friend for info. Friend is in the middle of an activity like lifting weights or making something with tools. The friend not only doesn't stop what they're doing, but they seem almost put off and uninterested as to why the police are asking them questions. A woman giving birth to an obviously 6-month-old baby. Everyone is super attractive. The slow clap. Somebody pulls the fire alarm and all the sprinklers go off. Pool on the roof must have a leak. In reality, fire sprinklers will only activate if they get hot. Usually around 135 F 57 C, and only the ones that get hot will turn on. Also, the water inside is usually the most foul, rusty, greasy mess that you really wouldn't want to get drenched in. A group of people walking to an edge of a cliff to reveal a great vista, and beyond yonder they're the city or monument or crashed spaceship, evil fortress, etc. that they have to get to. Next scenes. They are at the damn place. They're not tired, dirty, hungry. Somehow they cover days of traveling without breaking a sweat. The bell doesn't dismiss you. I dismiss you. That teachers say. I'll explain. In the movies, every time there's a scene in a classroom, the bell rings and all of a sudden all the students stand up and loudly exit the room, with the teacher screaming the homework assignment for the next day on top of their noise. Doesn't happen in real life. Usually teachers check the time and make sure their lesson is wrapped up on time, but if they don't, they dismiss the students, not the bell. Maybe an extremely small minority of inefficient teachers actually behave like in the movies. I've never seen it. But it's a 100% of the time in the movies. Edit. I'm not saying it never happens. You of course have your inefficient teachers out there, but it's rare, but somehow always happens in every movie. The amount of stuff that happens in a 24-hour period in teen rom-coms like Can't Hardly Wait, and Dazed and Confused. People talking in a small group about someone. A hush falls over the group. Then the actor asks, "He's standing behind me, isn't he?" People splitting up to check on the noise upstairs. Sex always looks so easy. They just make out and bam, the penis is inside. No, that's not how it works. Also after sex, when they just lay there and let it pour all over the bed. Where is the sexy penguin walk to the toilet clogging your vagizzle with the palm of your hand? People enjoying sex in the shower. It is really just taking turns at being cold and having the wrong lubricant. Walking up to a bar and just asking for a beer. What brand of beer? A bottle or from the tap? No, just a beer. Young person lives by themselves, yet their house is adorned like an older person with a family and money live there. In the army, I never saw the token badass girl on the squad who was always angry and could assemble weapons blindfolded and protected sheepish male scientists from weird shit. Either I did not understand your question, or most of the replies are the opposite of what you are asking. Except for the banana peel guy. The autistic kid is super clever 100% of the time. In real life, not so much. Unlimited ammo. Whenever I get into an impromptu gunfight in the middle of the street, I'm always woefully underloaded. I could kill you right now, but I'm going to give a long speech about my evil plan. Everyone is a gourmet chef in movies. Most people in real life struggle to follow the directions on a microwave TV dinner. High school parties aren't all that common where I live. And the bonfires aren't as serene as they're depicted. Usually smoke flies into my eyes and I have to sit 10 feet away from the fire. My back freezing and my front being broiled. Edit. Forgot people knocking on windows to get someone's attention at night. I'd flip out. Edit 2. I didn't think this would be as huge as it is. Lol. With no attention paid to my bonfire comment. Congrats to all you folks who've been to HS parties. I'm going to continue staying in on Friday nights. Though I don't have much of a choice. If there's a fight and you're outnumbered, it's highly unlikely that your enemies will get in a circle around you and take turns attacking you one at a time. Someone says, "Turn the TV on." And no one asks, "What channel?" The TV conveniently always shows the exact thing that's super important to the story.